Good morning, wherever you are. It's time for the Monday Minute with the Poppy of the Paranormal. I'm Christian Paul. What do we have for today? All right, first thing, we got to take care of a little business this morning before we get into today's show. Of course, Jan is with us once again, like always. First off, on the Monday Minute for today, I have to give a shout out to Matthew. Matthew was along with Dennis and I at the Witches Circle in Watertown many years ago. Dennis saw Matthew over the weekend, and he was a good guy to have along with us on that day. So, Matthew, shout out to you today. I hope you're able to join us on the minute this morning. What else do we have today? Confusion! What do we have confusion today? Okay, there was a post I had put up last night, not only on the Crossingaurd page, but also on the Beyond the Grave page, and also on the Haunted Nevada page, where I do share things quite often due to the fact that we have a lot of clips out of Nevada. Now, in this post I did, this is where when you are a trained investigator, you know what to look for, and when you are a layperson, you do not. So I pointed it out with a yellow arrow. You see, I was in a very dark hallway coming out of the mess hall at Nevada State Prison in Carson City, Nevada. Now, I am wearing body cams front and rear, so this is captured on the rear body cam. I am walking out. I had just turned the corner, and there was a flash of light coming down from the ceiling. There's just one problem. There are no lights on in the ceiling. I'm in the dark. But a few people commented, I don't see anything, blah, blah, blah. So I had to go into paint and draw an arrow on one of the pictures to direct your eyeballs in the proper direction. But I digress. Today's show, actual letters from the Bodie book of curses. Now, what do we got going on today? I just pulled 4 random letters from the book of curses. Now, keep in mind, dates are irregardless on these letters. I'm sure they continue to this day. We were in Bodie a few years back. Let us continue. Dear friends of Bodie, back in about 1974, my parents took my sister and I to Bodie for the first time. We thought it was interesting, but at the time, not half as interesting as the little room in one of the cabins that had cash and coin spread all over the bed and floor. My parents went for a second walk around the old buildings, taking all kinds of pictures, in parentheses, just loving their vacation to Bodie. I was 14 and my sister was 9. We were bored, although it's spelled bored like as in bored like a piece of wood board. But hey, I'm no English major. I get it. Believe me, I do. Okay. Hot and hungry for ice cream. We found the little room with the Save Bodie money and discovered a way with a long stick we could maneuver some of that money our way. We were able to get $3.76. I kept $3.51 and gave a quarter to my sister. I bought ice cream. Now, 25 years later, my sister's sister, how does this read here? Now, 25 years later, my sister's sister-in-law, who is very superstitious, said to my sister, "Your sister's financial problems are because of Bodie." I have had serious financial problems for about 20 years. Bankruptcy, tax liens, saving accounts frozen. My sister was recently laid off. If somehow I have upset the ghosts of Bodie, I would like to make my peace and apologize for my sister and I. I am returning the cash and coin that did not belong to us. And I really hope this will change things around in a good way for my family and I and bring us on a healthy financial track. So here's somebody that, borrowed a few things from Bodie, I guess. Financial disaster. Let us continue. That was an easy one to read because that one was like typewritten. This one is handwritten. This particular letter is from 2003. I seem to have a frozen screen here. Let me try to reload this for a second here. See if we could get this back. There we go. I think we got it back. All right, on to the next letter. I'm sorry that I took this piece of metal from the town. I thought it was a joke, but it wasn't at all. Things are happening that are very hard to explain. There is no exclamation for this stuff. I hope that Mr. Bodie will forgive me for what I have done. Then that's, redacted like a government document. But in parenthesis, 13 years old. P.S. If you want to know what has been happening to me, the car clock said the time of when we left Bodie on the 11th, which was 2:15. But it was really 8:30. My pants got an enormous rip in the side for no reason. I got stabbed with a hook. Yeah, I got stabbed with a hook. The TV overheard our conversation about it and decided to join in. I heard footsteps and clicking sounds all night. I didn't catch a single fish after they dumped about 50 of them off. Fishing in a pond, maybe? I guess. It doesn't elaborate on that. A deer almost ran our car off the cliff that night and didn't move when we swerved out of the way. For anyone reading this, don't take anything from a chunk of metal to a nail or a small rock. I promise you that you will be cursed and odd things will keep happening to you. And I am serious. And then it's signed again, but like I said, redacted like a government document. All right. Let us go to the next letter. Oh, this one's typewritten. This one's typewritten, so I can read this one a little easier. What is this thing dated? Is there a date here? 1993. The last one was 2003. 1993. Please find enclosed two small artifacts which I believe are part of the history of Bodie. Even in the smallest of ways. This screen keeps freezing up this morning. I don't know why. Let me try to reload this for the third time today. Here we go. I don't know what's going on with Book to the Face today, but oh well. Anyway, I visited Bodie a couple of years ago while on vacation. It was the most intriguing little town, and I was very captivated by the personal stories of human courage and survival in Bodie, which, by the way, winters in the high Sierras. Well, we all know the story of the Donner Party, okay? This is also the high Sierras, so yeah, winter you can get buried up to your eyeballs very easily. Upon exiting the town and heading for my vehicle, I came across a square nail lying in the dirt and also a rather old bottle cap. I casually picked up both souvenirs of my visit to Bodie since they were not within the confines of the town's buildings. I have since come to believe that maybe these two items should be relocated to their original habitat. I have heard the stories, and that's in quotation marks, of people who have deliberately stolen or vandalized the buildings to take home a piece of Bodie. I did not, nor would I do something that destructive. However, I still believe that these do belong to Bodie, regardless of where I found them. My sister recently visited Bodie and told me of the interesting stories from people who did take things from Bodie. So her sister obviously looked in the Bodie book of curses. Stories of people who have deliberately stolen or vandalized the buildings to take home a piece of Bodie. Okay, we already did that. I did not, nor would do something that destructive. However, I still believe these do belong to Bodie, regardless of where I found them. My sister recently visited Bodie and told me of the interesting stories, the bad luck, and the problems people have encountered. I too have suffered numerous instances of just plain old bad luck. Perhaps they are connected to the artifacts I discovered on the way to the car. But whatever the reason, please accept these items with my sincerest apologies. And if indeed I took something that I shouldn't have, I enjoyed the historical significance of Bodie and do hope it remains preserved for generations to come. Respectfully, and then once again, like a government document, the name has been redacted. All right, we're going to do one more here. This is dated December 9th, 2001. I got to make this a little bigger here. Old people are a little on the blind here. Dear friends of Bodie, when I went to Bodie in August, I found a pretty flower that I wanted to press and make a bookmark. That day, my dad took my brother and I fishing to Lake Lundy. Don't know where that is. Bodie is reasonably close to Mono Lake. I do know where Mono Lake is. Anyway, we went on a boat. I tried to cast my line, but the hook caught my little brother between the eyes. Oh my God. Punk. I bet that kind of hurt. Yeah, anyway. That night I took a hike and got lost in the forest. A few weeks ago, my dad was coaching my brother's hockey practice, and one of my brother's teammates accidentally skated into my dad. He fell backwards on the ice and hit his head. The kid's helmet hit my dad in the mouth and knocked his teeth out. The doctors thought he had a concussion and a broken nose. He is okay now, though. All righty. I have enclosed the flower in this envelope. I am sorry that I took the flower, and I won't ever take anything from Bodie again. Sincerely, and then the name is redacted again. Anyway, I do apologize for our video glitches today. I don't know why this thing keeps freezing up. It's the same Alienware computer I always use. I don't think the problem is on my end. But those are just some interesting letters from Bodie. I strongly advise that you should go there, experience, but the only thing I want you to take is pictures, and if you capture an EVP, all the better. That has been the Monday Minute for today. Be good to each other. We're all we got, so be good to each other. That being said, peace out.